What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here, delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com. You can sign up for my newsletter in the description below. Get a free graphic novel from me. Always keep up on the latest comic book news, comic book reviews, some cool stuff with cool collected editions that nobody else really covers over on here. Today we are going over Donald Duck, A Christmas for Shacktown by Carl Barks. This is one of those beautiful Fantagraphics Carl Barks collections. They're going through all of it and making sure that you can have a complete collection of his work, which is beautiful stuff. Now there's a nice table of contents in the front, which gives you all the list of stories and everything. But I think the coolest part is to turn to the back where it says, where did these stories first appear? Because then you get a little historical context of what's going on with this era here. And everything in this is between 1951, looks like December 1951, and about August 1952. September 1952, I'm sorry. And that is the era we're in now. So I believe the first book that's out is volume 5. Even though the volumes are not listed on the cover, they kind of give you a title on the cover, which makes it a little easier for folk to just get into random volumes rather than trying to collect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have not come out with volumes 1 through 4 as of this recording. But these here, the videos for, or the stories for Christmas for Shacktown, starts out with A Christmas for Shacktown, which is a really cute story, and it's all about just like getting some Christmas presents to young children who can't afford it. So, very touching story, very nice stuff all the way around. I really enjoyed it. It's one of the longer ones. There's a couple, basically Carl Barks splits things into what looks like they're about 30-page stories, and then there's 10-page stories, and then there's single-page gag stories. Next one is a 10-page story about Scrooge's Money Vault and the Beagle Brothers trying to break in. They were introduced in the last volume for this and make another appearance. So we start to see the classic Donald Duck characters in here with Scrooge and Gladstone Gander, and of course Huey, Dewey, and Louie make appearances in almost every single story. I think they make appearances in every single story. This is another one where this is a real cute one where there's a lot of Gladstone Gander luck stories, and if you don't know the story about him, he's the luckiest duck alive or whatever, and Donald Duck can never beat his luck, and so try as he may, he always ends up failing a little bit. And it's very interesting how Barks manages to put twists on this concept to make it interesting every single time, because you'd think that storyline would get old after a while, but I've probably read 10, 20 stories of Gladstone Gander at this point, and I'm not sick of them. This one's particularly cute, as Donald Duck buys every raffle ticket except for one, and makes it so there's no way that Gladstone could possibly win. But of course, the raffle tickets get dumped out by mistake, and they pull the Gladstone number. Lots of cute stories like that all the way through here. I'm trying to think of what my favorite stories are at this point. This is another cute one where there's a sheik from elsewhere who claims he's the richest man in the world, and Scrooge keeps outdoing him at every step of the way until he bankrupts the guy. That's a pretty cute one. This is a Daisy Duck story. Daisy Duck doesn't get much love. She's really just the object of gags in a lot of these, and I wish they'd developed the character a little bit more. But it's always just a gag of Donald Duck. In this one, his anniversary presents are kind of going wrong. Another Gladstone Luck Tale. I don't think the Gladstone Luck Tales are my favorite, even though, like I said, they don't get boring after a while, but I still would like just something a little different, I guess. And this is an inventor who shows up in here. He's a character who's recurring also. We get a couple one-page gags. The Golden Helmet is a 30-page Viking story where it goes all the way through. Trying to think of my favorites here. The pauses are while I'm trying to think of my favorite stories, because I know people like to hear which ones were my favorite stories involved in this. I don't think the Viking one was my favorite. even though that's one of the longer ones. And the longer ones tend to be a little more interesting because they're a little deeper of concepts. Maybe the Christmas for Shacktown, actually, the title story is actually my favorite in this one. I like to not choose that one typically because it's easy to choose the title story, but that was actually an excellent story, and it just was a little more touching than everything else in here. The Scrooge one also, where he's fighting over the millionaire title of who's the most richest, was pretty fun too. Some one-page gags again at the end. We get, I think, 1 or 2 more stories left here. All right, now there's a bunch of covers he did also, which are beautiful, beautifully done. And so those get put in the back with all these story notes, which are worth looking at. The story notes, I tend to ignore those because they're just kind of modern writers talking about their excitement of Carl Barks and all that, which, you know, whatever. Not that interesting to me personally. I like the Don Rosa collections because Don Rosa actually annotates his own stories, so he points out Easter eggs and stuff that wouldn't be found otherwise, which is really nice to have. But pretty good. Each one of these has a bio in the back, and they kind of talk about different things in each of these little bios, so it's pretty interesting. Cool. And that's it. This is a 10 out of 10. All of these are worth reading. Hope you enjoyed the review. We'll be back soon.